The market is, in option terms, short the upside. If the market rips, it creates huge FOMO because there's so many people, the people I speak to, the family offices, the high net worths, the smaller institutions, the RIA networks, all of those capital flows are basically buyers from 75,000 onwards. And 100,000 is blind panic. What happens is it kind of accelerates, which is why the banana zone tends to happen. It accelerates through those highs and everything gets a little bit crazy because everyone has a total FOMO, and random friends of yours you knew from school 20 years ago start calling you up saying, well, I hear you into crypto. That's all.
The crypto market sentiment has shifted back into the green, buoyed by Bitcoin's unexpected surge above $66,000, marking its highest level since late July. According to data from CoinMarketCap, Bitcoin has risen approximately 4.46% over the past week, though this increase is slightly overshadowed by Ethereum's 6% gain during the same period. Currently, Ethereum is trading at $2,583 after dipping from an intraday high of $2,650. Despite this rally, the crypto market remains cautious, with investors hopeful for even larger price increases before the end of the year. Raoul, founder and CEO of Real Vision, believes the conditions are set for significant price rallies, particularly as central banks worldwide are expected to introduce substantial stimulus packages and quantitative easing measures to support their economies. Experts predict that this new round of easing could surpass initial expectations. For instance, China has already announced 2 large stimulus packages that haven't significantly impacted the market, leading analysts to believe that central banks are gearing up for some of the most extensive liquidity injections seen in 2025. Powell's outlook for the next 12 to 18 months remains bullish, as he asserts that central bank stimulus will positively influence financial markets, particularly cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Throughout the past year, while others predicted a recession in the U.S., Powell maintained that the economic cycle was not conducive to a downturn, especially with central banks initiating rate cuts and preparing for aggressive money printing by 2025. He elaborates on his bullish thesis in a recent discussion with Deribit, detailing the current market landscape, the main catalysts for the upcoming rally, and the future of crypto in 2025 and beyond. Before we continue with the rest of the video, do check out daily 5-minute crypto newsletter with all the latest crypto and Bitcoin news. It's a fantastic analysis of on-chain crypto data and breakdowns, and the best part is it's absolutely free. They'll cover expert predictions, breakdowns of on-chain crypto data, and any breaking news you need to know, all in a nutshell. Click the first link in the description and enter your email to join over 50,000 others in becoming a better crypto investor right now.
I mean, everyone's just so frustrated with this sloppy price action.
Yeah.
Right, equities at all-time highs, the macro's good, China's stimulating, everything is in place. The pattern matching versus exactly what happened last year, everything's in place, and the market cannot get out of its own way. Talking to somebody today who we won't talk about naming, but the same questions like, what is going on? Is somebody selling? Is there a flow that we don't know about? Can you see the weird thing of MicroStrategy's decoupling from Bitcoin, which is equity flow versus crypto flow, which adds to this. There's something else going on. Speaking to everybody, there are no flows because everyone's waiting for the range to break. So there's all the family offices like, well, we just want to wait for things to start being confirmed. And it's the election. We want to see what happens with the election. It's basically everybody's waiting for everybody else. And we don't really have a catalyst. I mean, all the catalysts are in place. I don't know what's left.
Like, what are the sort of main sort of catalysts that you're looking at that still kind of keeps you in the banana zone world?
We produced something for Global Macro Investor 2 weeks ago, and it's probably 50 charts of liquidity, financial conditions, historical pattern matching, technical analysis, everything from, if you look at Bollinger Bands of, volatility, all of these things have always led to a big breakout. So you've kind of got every box ticked. I mean, everything. And, China have started to do the whole global stimulus game, and that will spread to everybody. Yes, at the end of the quarter, the Fed saw a draw of liquidity because of the bank funding stuff, but that goes away. So I don't know.
The only thing
for me, it's just a matter of time. It's just, if you go down the list, it's really interesting. When you see the list of the biggest holders of the ETFs, there's some RIA firms and whatever. most of it is the converter ARB guys.
Yeah.
It's all of them are the ARB guys. So they're either ARBing using the ETF because they can get prime broking on it, which you can't get on Bitcoin very easily. So they use it for prime broking, and then they're ARBing the futures or the perps.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no actual real new money that's come in yet then?
Yeah, there is some. You can go down the list, but when you look at it, it's all Millennium. It's all the same players, and they're just extracting cash from the cash and carry.
But then the guys that we were all thinking were going to come in and allocate into the space who haven't already, does that mean they're still to come then?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, again, the regulatory issues. I mean, every week there's somebody else being prosecuted. Then you've got the kind of Trump on one side, the Harris administration not making it clear what they're going to do, and the SEC being hostile. So that keeps people back from actually really allocating. It's like, okay, we need election clarity now.
When asked if anything could alter his bullish outlook on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, Powell pointed to the slim chance of central banks, particularly the U.S. Federal Reserve, opting to maintain their restrictive quantitative tightening policies. He emphasized that the likelihood of such a scenario is virtually non-existent. The Federal Reserve, which significantly influences other central banks' policies, has already announced its first rate cut in 4 years. Additionally, the People's Bank of China has unveiled a substantial stimulus package and other measures to bolster its struggling economy, indicating that more is likely on the horizon. For instance, Canada recently reported its lowest consumer price index since March 2021, coming in at 1.6%, compared to the anticipated 1.8% for September. This CPI report strengthens the case for the Bank of Canada's expected 50 basis point rate cut on October 23. Similarly, the Federal Reserve is anticipated to announce at least another 25 basis point cut during the upcoming FOMC meeting. Although Powell acknowledges that his thesis may be taking longer to materialize than expected, he remains confident that everything will eventually align. Let's return to the interview to explore further insights from Powell.
Look, everything is in place. The only thing that we were talking about this earlier, Dave and I, was like, the concern is we all think it's likely to break to the upside and go fast. And the issue is where is the capital flow going to come from? So if we're stepping away and want to give ourselves a counter argument, is everybody's looking at each other to say, well, when it breaks, the market's going to go higher because it's going to bring in all of the FOMO. But it needs to break higher to bring in the flow.
That's right.
That reflexive thing needs to start. And every time it's got to the top of the range, it's come back down. And now whether that's because of some flow we don't know, FTX estate stuff or whatever it is that keeps slotting at the moment it gets to the top of the range. But I don't know if the market, the crypto market itself, has much dry powder. Everyone's all in. There's also some random things like, you should keep your eye on stuff like Off the Grid, the new big game that's coming. It's on Avalanche. Okay, fine. Avalanche is not a chain that a lot of people use, but this game could be huge. That's a huge influx of people that we're not even looking at. And there's a bunch of the protocols who are building stuff like that. So it's like a mass market, abstracted away use of crypto that drives on-chain adoption, underlying value. So I think that that's the other thing. It's not the obvious, it will come into the Bitcoin ETF and then flow through the market. It could come from a number of different places we're not seeing. Don't forget, at the moment the business cycle picks up a bit faster, it's slow across Europe, it's slow in the US. The forward-looking indicators are showing it going up. I mean, that probably ignites meme coins and brings a whole bunch of normies into meme coin casino because it's just gamification of attention and
community
internet memes. I mean, they get it. And if their mates we've seen it before in every cycle, whether it's ICOs, if your mate is making a 50x, you are damn well opening an account and going to start trading. The pattern match versus last year is 1 for 1. It was identical.
When does
We've all forgotten that last year because last year finished really well. We were like, yeah, last year was great. Good year, guys. We forgot that it went from March till October in this sideways range. Identical.
What was the date that it started rallying?
It was like this week or last week. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Every comparison I look at is like, come on, guys. The market is, in option terms, short the upside. You know, if the market rips, it creates huge FOMO because there's so many people. the people I speak to, the family offices, the high net worths, the smaller institutions, the RIA networks, all of those capital flows are basically buyers from 75,000 onwards.
Yeah.
And 100,000 is blind panic because they're not traders. They just want confirmation that the thing is trending. And they'll find the narrative will fit it. Price leads, narrative follows. And that will happen. So what happens is it kind of accelerates, which is why the banana zones tends to happen. It accelerates through those highs, and everything gets a little bit crazy because everyone has a total FOMO, and random friends of yours you knew from school 20 years ago start calling you up saying, well, I hear you into crypto. That's all.
In related news, Samson Mow, CEO of January 3rd, has reiterated his prediction for the Omega candle, which he believes will propel Bitcoin to an astonishing high of $1 million per coin. Mow recently tweeted about this highly anticipated event, stating, "Omega is inevitable," alongside an image of a large green candle emblazoned with the word Omega. He has been discussing the Omega candle since the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission approved several spot Bitcoin ETFs earlier this year. According to Mow, whose firm collaborates with nation-states to accelerate Bitcoin adoption and hyperbitcoinization, the Omega candle will occur unexpectedly in the near future, catching everyone by surprise and driving Bitcoin to unprecedented new heights. While this may seem overly optimistic, it's refreshing to see figures like Mow and Raoul maintain their bullish outlook amid the market's volatility. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Raoul interview and Samson Mow's ambitious $1 million price prediction for Bitcoin. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.